Hello and welcome everybody to a tutorial in Europa Universalis 4. Now, here in this tutorial I will cover the basics of economy. What does that mean? Well, I remember quite some time ago getting into a game called Europa Universalis 2. That was ages ago. And one of the most important, well not really most important, one of the most difficult things for me was to get a grips on economy and how it works. Get a grips on how to create a stable country with a good economy, good military, good diplomacy, and then work my way up from there. Main problem was there wasn't a video tutorial on it, and YouTube wasn't really a big thing, and there wasn't a video of it on YouTube. Now, we are in the year 2014 and things have changed dramatically, both for Paradox and for YouTube and for everything. So, and obviously it's been ages, so I've had quite a few years to perfect my skill at Europa Universalis in general. Specifically in Europa Universalis 4 I've been playing a lot of lately, and I thought it would be a good idea to give you guys a very basic look and very basic tutorial on economy. So let's not hinder for much longer, let's get into it right away. So what do we have here? We have a country that starts off relatively small. We start off controlling all of this, including Epirus. Not Athens though, I took Athens later. This is in the time of the ruler. Well, the ruler right now is called Prince Uroš V Nemanjić, but we do not need to concern ourselves with that. These guys are a lot more important right here. We're going to talk about advisors first of all when it comes to building your economy. So we have three armies here, two 12 stacks and one 11 stack. Let's take a look at our military. We are 2 units off of our force limit. Now, this tutorial is mainly aimed at people that are very, very, very new to the game. So I'm going to be treating this as not the first, but one of the first experiences you have ever had of EU4. So let's take a look at this. What does force limit means? Basically, it is the game's way of imposing a limit on your country to how many regiments of army, that's both artillery, which we don't have right now, horses and infantry, it can maintain without having to pay extra cost for them. That is right now 37. I have 35 out of 37. That is quite a lot. Going over this, you can do it, but the penalties are extreme, and you really never should go over your force limit unless you are an advanced player or have some form of either large stack of money or some advanced strategy into expanding and whatnot. We'll talk about that a bit later though. Right now all you need to know is you do not need to go over the number on the right. That is 37. But let's take a look at the biggest and pretty much the only issue with our country right now. As you can see, we are losing a lot of money. We are losing 64 ducats a month. That is an incredibly large amount of money to lose. And if you mouse over it simply right here, you will be able to see what is your problem, if you will, in your country. You can see that advisors and advisor maintenance is costing us 62. That is an incredibly large amount of money. Army is costing us 20, which is okay considering we are one of the greatest military powers in the world and we're not exactly a huge country. It's my phone, I'll apologise, but as I said, Willy Grapp, thank you for following on Twitter. As I said, I will not turn off my phone while recording. If people want to follow me on Twitter, I will shout them out in recordings, because I think it's a cool way of doing things, because a lot of people do come from Twitter to watch my videos. Moving on. What do we see here? We see that we are losing a lot of money. How can we fix that? Well, quite simple. If you go over here, remember these guys, talked about them? Well, this is probably the most important guy to talk about, your administrative advisor. Now this guy has a 3 skill, which means he's very expensive to both recruit and maintain. He's costing us 20 ducats a month. His age is 43. Oh, actually that's ducats, I believe, but it doesn't matter. He gives us national tax modifier plus 5%. Now obviously you'd think that, if you're a new player, you'd think that, oh, maybe these plus 5% are bigger than these 20%. Well, yes they are, but then you had to control all of Europe, and then yes, the 5% would be bigger than the 20 ducats a month. Right now, if we take a look here, we only gain not even a full 10 ducats off of taxation, and he gives us plus 5%. For 5%, 20 ducats a month is not worth it, so we're going to fire him. This guy, Mladen. 20 ducats a month for better relations over time, 30%. This better relations over time, 30% is really, really good. But for 20 ducats over ducats, both are correct, I believe. I'm going to call them ducats. For this, it is simply not worth it. We're going to remove him. Now what you notice is that your generation of technology, or rather power, and then in terms of that, technology goes down. Yes, that is a bit of a problem, but we're going to talk about that a bit later. Land maintenance modifier minus 10%. Well, surely that's great. Well, yes, but our total maintenance is 20. The advisor is 20. 10% of 20 is very, very insignificant. So we're going to fire him. And there we go. Now let's take a look at the country. Voila! We are losing 4 ducats a month. That's not still in the positive. Bearing in mind, we are losing 4 ducats a month. If you take a look at our technology, we are 150 years ahead. 15 years, sorry, not 100, what am I talking about? 15 years ahead. So we do not need to spend anything here. If we want to build something, we have the money to do so, we have plenty of power stacked up. Our only problem was losing ducats a month. Let's go into reducing that further. One of the good ways you could reduce your, well, not really reduce your maintenance, but increase the amount of money you gain is by converting cultures and constructing buildings and coring provinces. I can't do that right now, but in your save, if you can do that, you really must, because it is very, very worthwhile in terms of giving you extra tax for not that much of a cost in the long run. I should probably mention this is with the Extended Timelines mod. I had this save and it was a perfect example, so I decided to use this one. It works exactly the same in the vanilla game. Some of the costs for like troops and base tax provinces and whatnot might be different, but the gist of it is exactly the same, and the advice I will give is practically exactly the same in both vanilla and modded EU4 in this case with the Extended Timelines mod. Let's take a look at how else we could decrease our spendings, if you will. So if we go over to economy and we take a look at army maintenance, that's 22 ducats a month. That is a lot. All of our units are fully regenerated in the sense of they are full at their capacity. You know, everyone is okay. There's no damaged regiments. Everyone's on full morale. We are not at war. Boom. Lower it down because you do not need it. If there is a revolt, raise it back up, deal with the revolt, get it back down. And there we go. In a few simple clicks, we are now making 7 ducats a month, which is nothing impressive, but we are militarily the second most powerful nation in the world, and by administrative rank, 3rd. Need I mention, we are beating France, who is much more massive, England, who is much more massive, Castile, Naples, Hungary, who is a lot bigger, Sweden, Novgorod, and even the Chinese civilizations, which we can't see right now. The Mamluks as well, with their great big trade port in Alexandria. We are beating all of them in terms of our military and administrative rank, or are very near them. So there you go. So your question to me would now probably be, hold on, are you suggesting we do not hire advisors? No, not at all. I'm suggesting don't hire an advisor that is costing you 20 ducats a month for 5% tax in this situation is horrible. Stability costs -10 for 9 ducats a month. You really need to consider, is this worth it? And in this case, it really isn't. My stability is at 3, sorry. I'm looking at stability cost, -10%, that's why I said 10. We do not need any of these guys. Diplomacy, we do not need the relations over time. It's way too expensive for us right now. Spy defense is okay, and for a cost of 9.3 is pretty good. Diplomatic reputation is also okay. Military, manpower for 2.3, and it will give us a slight bonus in generating military power. That one's pretty good. So someone will ask me, well, why do 3 skill level advisors exist? Well, they exist if you control a country that is basically half of Europe. Then 20 ducats a month aren't exactly going to phase you, because you're going to probably earn around 500. Then it's worth it. For a smaller country, who's having problems making 7 or 4 ducats a month, you do not need high-level advisors, and as a matter of fact, if you do get high-level advisors, it will be your downfall and your detriment, basically. Is there anything else we want to talk about? We want to talk about trade. Trade is often very confusing to people, and rightfully so. Especially within this game, look at this. I mean, imagine yourself, if you're a good player at U4 or a decent player, imagine your first days at U4, 3 or 2 or whichever EU game you started off with. Imagine your first days and imagine looking at this map and going, what the hell is this? Trade is a very advanced system within the game now, especially within EU4. Trade is something that needs to be researched and dug into in depth in order to get actually good at it. But you don't need to be great at trade. You really, really don't. What's the purpose of trade? Making money. Period. Literally the only purpose is to make money to do other stuff right now. So this is our main trading port. Simple. You send your merchant to collect trade from there. If there's something near you, you send to either collect from there or transfer trade power to there. Done. There are more advanced things which can be done, obviously, much more advanced things, but you don't need to do them. In fact, I go as far as saying it, you shouldn't at an early stage in the game. You should probably focus on diplomacy and military and economy on other fronts. And there we go, let's just make sure we do that, we don't get any revolts, there we go, and there you go. Done. And done. Now, we've went from losing 64 ducats a month to gaining 4.5, bearing in mind that we are one of the most advanced nations in the world. Well, not really the most advanced, but you can take a look at the technology mode. Golden Horde falling behind pretty badly. Yeah, we are on time with everyone. France has Diplo technology, 1 less than we do. Novgorod has admin 1 less than we do. And we started off as a relatively small, well, we started off as a medium-sized country. Now we are one of the most powerful countries in the world, with just a very small amount of territory. There you go, it's that simple. Convert provinces as well. I mentioned this previously, but converting them gives you long-time benefits. For example, if you aren't cored, we can take a look, actually, if we click on something like, let's see, yep, this. So here we can see, Serbian is not an accepted culture in Hungary. Serbian culture is a primary culture in Serbia. Well, no shit. Local revolt risk +2, local tax -33%, manpower -33%, mission strength -2%. You get the exact same in any country as if you have a non-accepted culture. Converted to get rid of -33 tax, which is your main detriment at this stage, although manpower is very important as well. We're talking about mainly about economy. Convert it and you get 33% tax in that province. Very simple, very effective, and long term, just awesome. Take a look at my culture map mode. There we go. Converted them all. All have been converted to my culture, and as a result, I'm in the positive, and one of the militarily, at least, one of the most powerful countries in the world right now. There you go. It really is amazing the level of freedom this game gives you to take just the Balkans, not even the entirety of the Balkans, and to be one of the most powerful nations in the world if you have the skill to do so, or to take just a small part of Central Europe and again do the same, is quite nice indeed. There we go. That should basically be it. I think this was a very, very good example of what you need to do, and in turn a very good example of how to convert your country from a state of ruin to a state of prosperity in the economical sense. One final thing I will mention, fleet maintenance needs to be kept at maximum all time. Reason being, you probably have a fleet that has merchant ships. If you drop maintenance, their ability to conduct trade, if that makes any sense, is hindered. So you want to keep it at max and keep your ships protecting trade. This means that you will get money from them and all will be well. Let's play the game. See. Earning 4, just the month ticks. There we go. Suddenly we are not paying 60 ducats a month for advisors, we're paying 2.32. And we're golden, we are set. Bearing in mind, if you stack up a lot of money, you can, if you want to, hire a few advisors, a bit more expensive advisors. Let's just get here, like, not a level 3 in this stage, but a level 2, just to get you the the power bonus, if you want it, if you need it. And then you can build yourself some buildings that will perhaps in a direct way influence your tax, like this temple. There we go. Simple as that. As always, my name has been Juggernaut. If you have any questions regarding military, economy, or politics, feel absolutely free to post them down below in the comments section. I read all the comments and will respond to them, provided I do know the answer. If I do not, I will point you to the right direction in acquiring one. And that's pretty much it. I hope you learned something in this tutorial, and I hope to see you again soon. Goodbye.